Hello, it's Andrine, a Jewish American priestess, and today we're doing a reading for the full moon of the month of Iyar. And it's early morning where I am right now. The full moon will come in just a little later today. It's the full moon in Scorpio, which is apparently a big deal in astrology. I'm not an astrologer, so I can't speak to that exactly, but I do know things have been up recently. And the month of Iyar is this month of healing, and it's specifically tied to the rains of Iyar. And right now, the rain is falling very heavily. It's been a very interesting month weather-wise. There's been heat and there's been cool, but this is the first time it's really rained. And when it rains during the month of Iyar, it is said that one should go outside and stand in the rain and even open your mouth up toward the sky and let those rains fall straight into your mouth, so that the healing will come. And I just did that, and so I'm still soaking wet. Not soaking wet, but I can still feel the raindrops on my face and on my hair and on my arms as I just came in from that pouring rain. So it feels like this is the right time to do this reading for the full moon of Iyar, the full moon in Scorpio. We are more than halfway through the Omer. We are in day 29 of counting those days between Passover and Shavuot, those days from liberation toward revelation. And so we're in this midst of seeking our way through the desert toward the mountain to receive what it is we are about to receive. And the full moon in Scorpio, as I understand it, is about releasing things. We've come into this time of fullness, and it's time to let go of those things that are no longer serving us. So I'm thinking about, in terms of this reading, that we're going to do a full spread. We're going to pour out all the Hebrews onto the bowl, and we're going to look for things that we maybe don't need any longer, things that are no longer serving us, and how best we can release those and allow them to transform in this time of healing, this time of rain, of the healing rains of Iyar, and this time of full moon of Scorpio. So let's just go ahead and get started. I'm going to shuffle these up, and we'll just pour the whole bowl down. That's a healing song. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all the Hebrews that are face down in this reading, and there's quite a few. I will leave the Ein Sof, but let me just take out the ones that are face down. And jumped. This must be it. I will double check. No. Okay. All right, this is what we have left. I'm going to bring the tripod down so we can see everything where it lays. And then I'll lift up each letter as we look at it too. And so interesting in this time of releasing and letting go, I'm noticing most of the letters have fallen near the bottom of the spread. But we have one that's like directly in the middle of the entire bowl, and that is the letter Aleph. Interestingly, the first letter in the alphabet. It is laying back on its back. But here it is. The letter Aleph is the number 1. And it is that mother letter of air and breath. And so, in a sense, it speaks to just pausing and taking a breath. The breath that is given to us by the divine. That breath is breathed into us to give us life. And you'll notice that the Aleph has got that diagonal line straight through it, which I think of sometimes as a teeter-totter, like a balance. And it is balancing that which is above and that which is below. So here right in the center and near the top of our reading, in terms of where the letters fall, we have the Aleph, the number one, the oneness of the divine, and that reminder that we should breathe and remain balanced as best we can at this time. And again, it's resting on its back. It's kind of leaned back, so we're leaning back into a place of rest. Just to the left of that, the highest letter in the reading, technically, is the letter Chet. And Chet is the first letter of the word Chai, meaning life, and the first letter of the word Choshek, meaning darkness. So again, a balance between our life and the darkness that balances that. And they aren't necessarily at odds with each other, but darkness can be a little scary. It's a shadow side of ourselves. It's the first time the letter Chet shows up in Torah is in the word Choshek, darkness. So the darkness hovered over the face of Tahom, the waters of the void. So it's the highest thing in our reading. So right now we're coming sort of into this time of darkness. We're in the light. It's so interesting because we are in the full moon, but there's something about Scorpio that is darkness as well. And the letter Chet being both about life, embracing life, facing life, the tree of life, and the Choshek, the darkness, seems important. Additionally, Chet is the number 8 in Gematria, so it's that sense of the infinite, the infinity loop. And so it speaks to the divine themselves in terms of the infinite one, and it's right next to the Aleph. So we have the Aleph here and the infinite next to it, here at the top, protecting us and watching over everything that's going on. And just to the left of that, we have the Lamed, and it's completely upside down. This is the Lamed, and it landed like this, and usually it's like this. So when a letter that's very positive is upside down, we're going to think of it as internal. And Lamed is the letter that begins the word Lev, Lev meaning heart, heart-mind. So the heart-mind that's inside of us, where we make discernment, is tied up in the Lamed. The Lamed is the letter that sort of means aspiration, reaching up. It's the only letter that reaches above the line in Hebrew. So it's reaching up toward the divine with hope, with heart. And it represents the digestive tract, the intestines in the body. So it's that part of our body that takes in nutrition and information and discerns what is useful and what to release. So when we're speaking about the full moon of Scorpio and what it is we're trying to release, this is really important. And since it's upside down, this is what we're doing inside of ourselves. We're not necessarily releasing stuff or objects or even other people in our life. We are releasing our ideas internally, the things that are maybe heavy on our heart or things that we've discerned are no longer serving us. So those are the top 3 letters we have in our reading today. And then let's move down to the next letter here. We have the letter Yud. And Yud also, so many of the letters do remind us of the divine. The Yud is the first letter of the Yud He Vav He, which is that 4-letter name of the divine, which is unpronounceable, but it is the word that is a contraction of to be in the past, present, and future. So Yud He Vav He, and it's also upside down today. The Yud is that seed, the spark, that little sperm that sets things into motion. So it's the beginning of a thing, and again, it's lower than those top 3 letters, but it represents the divine themselves in the sense of inspiration, in the sense of the thing that begins all, the thing that is about becoming in the world. So upside down, we're talking about what is unbecoming. What is it that we're releasing? What seeds have we stuck in the ground that are maybe not bearing fruit right now, that it's time to let go, release them, and move forward at this time. So following from these top three letters, we have the Yud saying, what is it we're dropping right now and releasing, transforming. We have a whole cluster of things down here. I'm going to move all the way across over to the far right and see what we've got here sitting in the shadows. We have the letter Hey, and it is showed up sort of upside down on its head. The Hey generally looks like this. And Hey is the first letter of the word Hineni, so I think of it in terms of presence, showing up. Hineni, which means here I am. And it is the answer that one gives to the divine when you hear your name called. The divine says your name and you say, here, Hineni, here I am, ready and available for service. So the Hey is here, and it's over on the side, it's upside down. Maybe the difficulty in showing up right now. Maybe there's some challenge right now in showing up, that we're not feeling available or ready for service. The Hey is also the number 5 in Gematria, so it has the sense of the 5 books of Moses, the 5 levels of the soul, and the 5 fingers on the hand. It's about action in the world, in that sense. The Hey being upside down is really interesting because I affiliate each of the letters with a tarot card. As I sat with them when I was learning them at the beginning of this journey, the Hey seemed to me to be about connecting to the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man is the character that appears in tarot upside down. And here, this letter is upside down. So this idea of showing up and remaining present and just hanging out and being available, maybe seeing things from a different perspective. Saying, here I am ready. I'm not moving yet, but I am ready. Ready to see what you have to show me. And the fact that it's upside down, way over in the shadow, maybe is that we're not seeing what it is that we're supposed to do yet. That we are also maybe not feeling quite ready to jump ahead into action. So maybe the thing that we're letting go around the letter Hey is this this inability to show up, the desire to just hide in the darkness. And one of the things that we can release right now is that hesitation to show up for whatever it is we're being called to do. If we're feeling a call right now, maybe we can release that fear that comes with, like, oh, I'm not ready, oh, I don't think I can do it. Maybe we can release that right now and come out of the shadow. Eventually, we're going to stick that back over here where it was. Oh, I'm just going to go from top to bottom. So the next highest letter we have in the reading is the Nun. And Nun is the letter that begins the word Ne'aman and the word Nes. Ne'aman means humility, humbleness. And it looks a little bit like somebody who is kneeling and has their head bowed. So humility is going to be an important factor in this. When we were having a hard time finding our humility and actually saying, I'm worthy, and I think that's something worth considering, the humility of our situation. Nes is miracle, and you can see that on the dreidel where it says Nes Gadol Hayasham. A great miracle happened here, and during the Hanukkah time we spin the dreidel. So humility is necessary in order to see the miracles. And since this is low in this reading, maybe you're having a hard time seeing the miracle right now, having a hard time showing up with the Hey, and having a hard time remaining humble. But that humility is going to be really important in releasing that which we need to release right now. Because the full moon in Scorpio asks us to let things go. So perhaps it's time to find a sense of humility right now and lay down our ego and accept the miracles that are coming to us when we're able to transform. The next highest letter at the bottom here is the letter Bet. And Bet is the letter that means home. Bet is the second letter of the alphabet, and yet it is the first letter of Torah. And so what comes up for me when I see this here close to the Nun is that it's okay to feel like you're number two, right? Like you're the second, you're not the first. The Aleph is the first. The divine is the first. But even with the second letter, there's first chances, there's second chances, there's the chance to become first. You'll notice in Torah, oftentimes there are stories about two children, and the second one is almost always elevated above the first. When you have Jacob and Esau, Esau was the firstborn, and yet Jacob is elevated above. You have, even with the 12 tribes, the eldest son does not become the one who inherits. That actually ends up going to sort of Joseph, even though he is much, much lower in the ranking. But he was the son of the favored wife, who was the second wife. She was supposed to be, Rachel was supposed to be married to Jacob first, but Leah was married to him first. And so he preferred Rachel. And so Jacob wanted to give much of his inheritance to Joseph. And Joseph had two sons, and they were Ephraim and Manasseh, and they were also switched in the blessings. So the second becomes first. The sense of the second letter being elevated to firstness. So so let go of trying to be first. Let go of trying to be first and allow that transformation to happen. So even when you're in second place or feeling second best, there's a chance for transformation toward elevation. And Bet means home. It means house. It's a place where we can come in to rest. It's affiliated with the day of Shabbat. And so there's this feeling of rest that comes with this. And maybe rest is going to be a big part of this transformation, really taking the time to rest. So that's Bet, and it's down here in the center, right kind of below Aleph. Then we have these last four letters. The next highest one is the Tzadi. Tzadi's over here on the left. It's landed upside down, and it looks like this usually. Now Tzadi's got a lot of affiliations with it, as do all the letters. Tzadi is the first letter of the word tzedek and tzadik. Tzedek means justice, and tzadik means righteous, a righteous person. So it looks like with its upside downness near the bottom here that there's been some kind of miscarriage of justice. And when we're talking about things that we're trying to release right now, I guess what comes up for me when I sit with that right here in this reading is there's been some injustice that's been happening. Maybe toward you personally, maybe in the world. And this is a time of releasing grudges and burdens that have come from the place of feeling the injustice in the world. Not to say that we tolerate injustice, but if we're holding on to something that has been holding us back and causing us to not be able to seek justice, not be able to see the miracles as transformation occurs, it may be time to let go of that feeling of it's not fair, something isn't right, this isn't working for me. The old feelings, not the new ones. If there's something that's definitely not just in the world, we need to stand up against it, against the injustice. But I'm just getting the sense that in this particular reading, we're talking about old harms, old slights, things that have rubbed us the wrong way. And that perhaps it's time to, I'm not going to say to ignore what happened, but to let go of our part of the feeling of resentment that comes with this terrible thing happened to me and now this is my identity around it. Remember, and forgive. There's a difference between forgiving and forgetting, and forgiving and remembering. Because forgiving is taking the time to understand what happened and how things have changed and what could have been better and how things can transform into something better. Remembering the injustice, not letting it happen again, and still being able to forgive and say, I understand everybody was doing their best in this situation. So with the tzadi, face down, it's like a tree that's been felled. We have these, maybe it's a family tree, maybe there's a family issue. That feels resonant for me. It's a family issue that's caused harm. And we can let go of our part in it, which is to say, we don't need to carry the anger and the grudge and the burden. We can walk away from that and live our lives in freedom and not let those internal voices continue to yell at us, not dwell on the fallen tree, but to consider the seeds that might be planted after that tree has fallen. Let's see, we have 3 more letters, and the next highest is tucked underneath another. So I'm going to read these 2 together. What we have is the letter Pei, and it's tucked under the letter Tet. And Pei is the letter that it means mouth, so it speaks to the voice of the divine, speaking creation into existence. And it's got that spiral look. It's the first letter of the word Pa'am, which means time. So there's been time that's passed. It's under the bridge, under the Tet. And it is, it's continuing to spiral out, whatever is happening over the course of time. But it's also about speaking and the divine speaking creation into existence, but us being able to speak what it is we'd like to see into the world as well. And it's a little bit hidden here. So one of the things we're letting go of in this full moon in Scorpio is the belief that we cannot make things happen. And I believe we can. I believe that if we can speak what we'd like to see in the world, even if it's like, oh, I don't think that's going to happen. Oh, no, there's no point in thinking about it. Let go of those doubts. Let go of the doubts that you don't have the power to create with your mind, with your words. Take some time to really write down or say out loud what you'd like to see in the world and believe that you have the power of creation. And I say that because on top of that is the letter Tet, and Tet is a cup or a womb space. So it's about gestation. It's this letter that holds goodness within it. So the word Tov begins with Tet, and this uterus-shaped vessel here is holding goodness within it. The Tet also looks a little bit like a snake, right? It's got that little head on the upper left and then the tail curving around. It's like a snake curled up in a basket, or maybe a snake even ready to strike. And there are these stories in Torah about the snake, the one who lies, the one that deceives and encourages the eating of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And I think it's important to remember that the snake is also a symbol of the goddess. And it's about transformation. It's about shedding skin. It's about finding a fresh way to move in the world. So the snake has gotten a bad rap. And there's goodness in there because of the Tov, that sense of a gestation and goodness in this cup. So we have this gestation, we have this potential for goodness, we have the transformation of skin shedding that comes to us from the feminine divine, the goddess herself. And it's sitting right on top of this letter that means speaking creation into existence. And Tet is the number 9, like the 9 months of pregnancy. Pei is the number 80, an ultimate manifestation of that infinity loop that is in the 8 up here in the Het. So these two sitting here together is there's a gestation of goodness, and underneath it is the ability to speak what you'd like to see into the world. Really low on the reading, however. So what we're releasing is the fear around saying what we want to say out loud, the fear around the belief that things cannot come into the world through our own manifestation, and the fear that there's nothing good here, that there's no gestation happening. We're letting that go right now. I'm going to set those back down here at the bottom. And the last letter in our reading is the Ayin. The Ayin is the letter that means an eye, being watched over by the divine, and also seeing our way forward. And Ayin is the number 70 in Gematria. It comes right before the Pei in the alphabet. And 70 has got this magical quality to it. The number 7 is a lucky number. The number 7 is the number affiliated with the Shekhinah, the indwelling presence of the divine feminine, the Shabbat bride. And 10 times that has got this great power. So it feels like, well, there's 7 days in creation, right, in the Torah. 7 days is this, it's an ending, but it's also a beginning, because at the end of creation, that's when the story really begins. And the 7th day is also Shabbat. So again, back to rest, like the bait. Where'd it go? Right there, the bait in our reading. So this ultimate manifestation of an ending that is also a beginning. The ending of a thing that has come to not a completion so much as the finished creation, so that now we can start. So there's this lingering disbelief that we can start. There's a fear about something coming to an end, something really huge coming to an end. This is a very large ending, the 70. But what the Ayin is saying here is that we can see our way forward, that we can believe that we are being watched over by the divine. And what's important is that we release this underlying belief that we can't see anything, that we can't see our way forward, that there's a belief that everything's come to an end, and there's no point in doing anything. The Ayin is here to say we can see our way forward. We are being watched over by the divine, that we have the ability to embrace that which has been created and move forward into a new creation. Because again, this full moon in Scorpio is all about releasing what is no longer serving us and moving forward into the next iteration. So just to recap, near the top here we have the Aleph with the divine, the number 1, the one who is and is watching over us, the oneness of the divine, the unity, and the breath, taking time to breathe. That's going to be helpful in our transformation. The Chet, which is representing life and darkness, both that balance between feeling alive and also facing our shadow self. The Lamed upside down here saying, look inside of our heart. This transformation is taking place inside of us with the discernment of what to retain and what to release. That's the big part of this full moon transformation. The Yud, this seed that has been dropped. And the sense of, again, the divine here, but as it's falling down toward the bottom of the reading here, there's been a seed that's dropped, and we can let go of that and trust that wherever it falls, whatever comes of it is meant to happen. That maybe we're transforming by releasing the attention to that one thing, and that allow the becoming to happen, even through what appears to be death, because we have to plant seeds underground in order for them to grow into the darkness. We have the hay over here, which is that fear of showing up. It's upside down, so hineni, I don't know if I can do it, I don't feel like I'm ready. Show up, be present, trust that you have the ability to do whatever it is you're being called to. Release that false belief that you can't do it. Humility and miracles. Find your sense of humility to trust in the miracle that is coming. Be okay with feeling like the second thing, that you might have a second chance, or that the second thing can become the first. That if you're not feeling like number one, that even if you're coming in second place, that still has the potential for elevation toward having the power of creation. Something that has served in injustice needs to be released. And not in a way, again, not in a way that puts you in a position of danger at all. Walk away from the thing that is causing you pain, that the pain that you're carrying right now, that comes from an old injustice. Allow for the ability to create with your speech. Allow for the passage of time, that spiral of time, and believe in the goodness that comes from the shedding of the skin, the transformation, and the gestation that will come once you start speaking, come out from underneath that snake and start speaking what it is you'd like to see in the world. And trust that you are being watched over by the divine and that you can see your way forward. Let go of the belief that nothing's worth doing, that there's no time for rest, that I can't see what I'm supposed to do. It's okay. It's okay not to be able to see right now. The full moon is here to illuminate and help you release those things that are no longer serving and give you the opportunity to embrace the new that's coming in with this shedding of the skin and the transformation. The divine has got you, even when you're in darkness, even when you're in the shadow, even when the choshek is really high in the reading, that darkness. The darkness is necessary to illuminate the light. Without the dark sky, we can't see the full moon. So that's our reading for the full moon of Scorpio. Get out into the rain if you can and let that healing water fall over your head and into your mouth. Allow the healing of the divine to come. And I will see you soon. Enjoy the rest of this month of Iyar in the release that's coming. And I will see you here next time.